I think a lot of people will be able to relate to, things that, I deal with during the season. You guys have not, I don't think you've ever seen me like really in a relationship in love on the show.
Well, Sheree, I am so excited that you are back on the Housewives. So why was this the perfect time to return?
It was the perfect time because I was just in a good headspace.
Yeah.
When I got the call, one of the things that was really important to me is, okay, so first of all, when I'm not on the show, I don't watch the show. However, I'm surrounded by people who still, are very committed to the show. And that's nothing, there's nothing wrong with that. But over the years, I've heard, I hear all of the complaints where they say, oh, it's, not as classy, or, it's too much drama. The girls aren't friends. You can tell they're not friends. And these are the complaints that I would hear. So when they reached out to me, I actually voiced these complaints that I heard from other people, and they were literally on the same page. Like my thing was, we need to take this back to what it originated. We were a group of girls. We really didn't know what we were doing, but of course we came together. We were friends, and we had some drama. Like in, any relationship, we had drama, but at the end of the day, we had a mutual respect for each other, and we were friends.
Yeah. No, I think that you make such a good point, because I think the best Housewives franchises are the group of women that are actually friends when the cameras are not rolling. So I totally agree with you. And I know that you said when you originally left that the show was not going into the direction that no longer fit your lifestyle. Was that maybe one of the reasons why?
That was one of the reasons why. And I just felt like, it was more focused on drama, but then I had some personal things going on in my life. And, sometimes I'm okay with stepping back and, just kind of regrouping and, just putting my focus on, what's important to me, my family, my peace of mind. So I'm okay.
Good. Yeah. Well, what are you most looking forward to about this season? And was there a lot of convincing to get you to come back to the show?
No, well, it wasn't a lot of convincing, because after I had that conversation with them, and they were really in agreement. They agreed that, these are some of the things that they've heard as well, that the show really needs to get back to, what it was. And they were looking for a group of, women who were actually friends.
Yeah.
So that worked perfectly for me.
Yeah. You stepped right back in. So what are you most looking forward to this season?
This season, I'm just so happy that you guys, the fans, first of all, the fans have been incredible. They have kept me alive. They have kept She by Sheree alive. They have kept Chateau Sheree alive. They do it for me. And I'm so happy that I'm going to be able to, really open up, let them know, what I've been, doing, what I've been working on, what's going on in my life, my relationship, She by Sheree, all the stuff, just allow people to catch up on all the things that, they know me for.
Yeah. Is there anything that is there anything that you're nervous about watching back or hesitant about watching back?
Oh, everything. Because you know what? Sometimes when you're in the moment and, sometimes things don't always go your way. Yeah. And you may say something that you're like, oh my gosh, why did I say that afterwards? But when you're taping and you're maybe in a heated, argument or, anything is going on, you're not thinking about them cameras at the time.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Who are you most excited to reconnect with, returning to the show?
It's a couple girls. I would say that, Marlo.
Yep.
Marlo, people thought that, I don't know what the deal was with me and Marlo in the past. We had that one, but I don't even really know. I never really had an issue with her. So we reconnect and we hit it off really well. Kenya. Can I say Kenya? Can I say Kenya Moore? You guys have never saw Sheree Whitfield and Kenya Moore say anything nice about each other. Kenya, I am loving Kenya this season.
Yeah,
I really am. She, having Brooklyn, to me, kind of really grounded her. It's like she's a different person. It's like, who is this bitch? I like her.
I want to be friends with her.
Friends with her.
And then how about Candy? Did the two of you stay in touch over the years?
Candy and I stayed in touch a little bit over the years. I would have things at my house. I would invite her, like she's coming out to my birthday party and things like that. But I feel like this season, all of us girls have talked to each other outside of the cameras. We hang out outside of the cameras. And this isn't something that in the past years have been done.
Yeah. How about Drew? I spoke to her yesterday and she said the two of you really didn't kind of get off on the right foot. You know, bones were being thrown and things like that. I mean, what can you kind of tease about what's going to unfold between the two of you?
Oh, Drew. So I go in, of course, I don't know Drew from a can of paint, and she like literally comes at me. So it was kind of, I had to give her a who's gonna check me, like, girl, you can't gather me. I am not her. You can't do this, honey. So, and it kind of kept on throughout the season. And finally, we got to a place, I think.
Mm-hmm. And what were your thoughts on the new housewife, Sonia?
Sonia's really sweet. Mm-hmm. I think she was a good addition as far as, like she's almost like sometimes the voice of reason. Uh-huh. Yeah, she's really sweet.
Yeah. And were you thrilled that Marlo finally got her peach?
I was so thrilled that Marlo finally got her peach. Mm-hmm. It was about time. She worked hard for it.
Yeah.
And she's working even harder this season for it.
No, definitely. Were you disappointed that Cynthia and Porsha were not going to be joining you this season?
That's a strong word. I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but I would say that, I just hung out with Cynthia in California a couple of weeks ago, and, Porsha's living her life, and, I'm all for love. So I'm just happy for both of them.
Definitely. And I know that this season is going to, touch a lot about your relationship with Tyrone. And, in the first episode, we see you kind of starting to navigate your relationship. So, were you hopeful at the time that you could make the long distance work?
Well, I made jail work, didn't I?
Yeah, I was going to say yes, you did. You made the real long distance work.
I made the real long distance, now that was like the test of time. And I stood by that man. Yeah. So I'm, eager for you guys to kind of watch my journey, my love, my relationship. I think a lot of people will be able to relate to, the things that, I deal with during the season. You guys have not, I don't think you've ever seen me like really in a relationship in love on the show. So you get to watch all of the ups and downs and, just stick around so you can see how it turned out.
Yeah. I mean, did you think it was going to be easier then, because obviously now with his release and things like that, you were presented with new challenges. Obviously he was in Philadelphia, so you had to make like the long distance with that work. So, but were you hopeful then that it was going to be easier? And then were you surprised by the challenges that kind of popped up?
I was totally surprised by the challenges that popped up. But again, I'm realistic, in every relationship, no relationship is perfect.
Yeah.
And this relationship has not been any different than any other relationship that I've had. It takes two people. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the effort, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Whether he and I don't want to give too much.
Okay.
I don't want to give too much.
I know. I'm like, but I mean, I guess you can't say exactly where you guys stand right now, then, right?
You got to tune in.
Oh, come on. Did he really?
You got to tune in. Listen, this is a man that you guys have talked about, or we have talked about, you guys have heard about for many, many years. Mm-hmm. Many years. So I'm just excited that you guys get to follow our journey.
Definitely. Can I ask, are you happy now in your dating life?
I'm happy.
Good.
I am very happy.
Good. And we see Apollo come back and the two of you had that conversation. What was that like for you? And was that helpful for you?
It was very helpful. I consider Apollo a good friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And I know he's been through, he went to prison himself. And so what better person to get advice from, other than, your friend who's been, to prison. He was able to, shed some light on several different topics that, you guys will be interested to, hear and follow.
Definitely. Well, besides Drew this season, who else do you kind of are at odds with?
I mean, that's the main person, but, I'm very vocal. I don't mind stating my opinion. I didn't like some things that, a couple of the girls did. Right. And I actually, verbalize it, and, some you got to watch and see how it turned out.
Definitely. And this is such a strong, great group of women that you have. But if you could bring back another OG housewife, who would it be?
It would totally be Lisa Wu.
Yeah. How come?
I love Lisa. She's so fun. Mm-hmm. I don't think you guys really got to see her in her best light, being completely transparent. And I think that if she came back today, she would not disappoint.
Yeah, definitely. Have you been in touch with NeNe at all? And I'd love to get your thoughts on, she had the lawsuit against Bravo and things like that. So I'd love to get your thoughts on that.
I have not. I reached out to NeNe, of course, when Greg passed. Yeah. I was there for, I told her if she needed anything, I was definitely there for her. After that, I've not heard from NeNe, but, I wish her the best.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then how is She by Sheree going?
Woo! That is my baby. First it was Chateau Sheree, now it's done, but She by Sheree is my baby. It's been a long process. It's probably one of the only brands that's been around that is a household name. Yeah. That's been around talked about the good, the bad, the ugly for 14 seasons, which equates to 14 years. And never had a product. Right. Never had a product for you guys to buy other than t-shirts. But this season, you'll get to hear a lot of the reasons why, I wasn't able to produce She by Sheree. Mm-hmm. Some of the things that I went through that I know a lot of people will be able to relate to or have gone through, but you'll also get to see the process, all of the headaches, the heartaches, the blood, sweat, money, and tears that went into She by Sheree, but it's well worth it. And one of the things that's really important to me is I stayed true. I was determined. A lot of people, they're like, oh, it's been so long. You need to, move on to something else. But I got so many people, they call me. They're like, She by Sheree in the streets. Where's the joggers? They let it live. They allowed it to live for so long. And I'm so grateful. And that was motivation for me.
Definitely. Well, I can't wait.
I didn't give up on my dream. A lot of people give up on their dream. Don't give up on your dream. It's not your time. It's God's time. And you don't know, when it's going to happen. But She by Sheree is coming.
I love it. I can't wait to see the journey of She by Sheree this season. Yeah.